Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, this is my first speech in this Toastmasters organization. As Maria mentioned, I was recently elected president. Today is my Icebreaker speech, so this is a little bit about me. Timer whenever you're ready. I don't have children. I know a lot of you in here do, though. So what would you think when your 7-year-old daughter comes to you, stands in front of you, probably with her hands on her hips, something like this, and says, "I want to change my name. I no longer want to go by the name that you probably agonized 9+ months over." What's your reaction as a parent? What do you say to this little freckle-faced, tow-headed type standing in front of you who has adamantly stated this fact? Well, if you're my parents, you ask why. Why do you want to change your name? What are your reasons behind this? See, if you're my parents, you've taught your daughter that individuality, independence, making decisions, even at this young age of 7 years old, these are good things. Things to be encouraged if you can back them up. I grew up in a small rural community. Our school didn't have a lot of resources, so my education was always a challenge. My parents wanted to make sure I was challenged. They worked very hard with the school administrators, with my teachers, to make sure I was challenged. They had meetings regularly with these people. In one of these meetings, probably about age 10, they like to tell a story from this meeting, where in front of these administrators, these teachers, my parents, I sitting there in my skin knee, feet swinging above the floor, sitting in a chair too tall for me, I stood up and I said, "Stop talking about me. Talk to me. I'm a part of this." From that moment on, I was a part of it. I was part of my education plan, and I was part of those decisions. Now, did my parents really know what they were getting into with this, though? Did they really understand the implications of letting me make these decisions? I don't know if they did. But they taught me that as long as I could support my decisions, they would back them up. I still don't know how I convinced my parents to let me go to college when I graduated high school a year or two early, or how I convinced them that a Ford Mustang convertible was a good first car for that 16-year-old college student. Don't know how I did it, but I backed my decisions up when I made those decisions. I dug in my heels and I stood my ground, and ultimately, they let me make some of these choices. My ex-husband got a first-hand experience of this philosophy. We had been dating for quite a while, so he wasn't surprised at my stubbornness, shall we say. But when we started talking about marriage, I brought up an issue that I was very passionate about, something that was very important to me. I did not want to change my name. Or, more accurately, I did not want to lose my family name. It was important to me, and there's a why. So let me go back to that why. There were 2 reasons I didn't want to do this. The first is very personal. In my father's family, there are 4 brothers. Of those 4 brothers, 2 of them have children. My dad has myself and my younger sister. My Uncle Keith has a daughter named Emily. There is no males in the next generation to carry on the family name. Now, albeit, I believe my sister and my cousin are probably just as stubborn as I am, but as the oldest, I felt it was up to me to set the example at least, that this was something they could put their foot down about and do if they so chose to. The second reason is a little more broad scope, and it has to do with my personal beliefs about feminism. To me, feminism is about equality, and equality in all things. That means I don't expect the guy to pay for every single date. There will be some that I offer to pay for. I don't expect him to hold open the door unless he wants to, but these are not expectations. It's about equality. Part of that to me is if I have to take his name, or if I want to take his name, I would also like him to take mine. Luckily for me, I have a very understanding partner at the time. And so he listened to my reasons, just as my parents did when I was a young child, and he was willing to make a compromise. So you see, I'm not all stubbornness. I was willing to make a compromise too. And he outlined something that was important to him. To him, he didn't want to purchase a diamond. He has strong feelings about the hyperinflation of diamonds as a symbol. I listened to his reasons. Diamonds had never been important to me. So we compromised. And when we got married, I didn't have a diamond ring on my finger, and we both took the name Daniel-Hoganson. So let's go back. Let's go back to that first moment, that first decision I made and stood up and told my parents, I want to change my name, and here's why. At the time, did they know what they were in for? Did they know it would lead to their daughter leaving home a couple extra years early, lead to their daughter standing up and putting forth her ideas on some things that maybe they felt should have been their decisions? No. But did they know that that was a value that they wanted to instill in their daughter? Yes, they did. And so when I told them I wanted to change my name to Alice, they supported that decision. And they taught me I could be my own person with my own ideas, my own independent, albeit somewhat stubborn, streak. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.